Let me paint you a picture that is happening inside the Sidra chain community right now, and, honestly, it needs to stop. Someone has been mining since 2022, that's 3 years of daily participation, hundreds of Sidra tokens have been accumulated, and then, out of frustration, out of impatience, out of desperation to see some return on their time, they get a DM on Telegram. A stranger offers them 5 cents per token. They think, well, something is better than nothing. So, they send their coins, the buyer disappears, the payment never arrives, the tokens are gone forever. That is not a hypothetical, that is the documented pattern happening across Telegram, private DMs, and X right now. And the most heartbreaking part, the miners selling at 5 cents may be sitting on tokens that the project's own ecosystem is pricing at levels dramatically higher than that on demo infrastructure. Today, we're talking about why selling Sidra unofficially right now is one of the most dangerous decisions a miner can make, and what the project is actually building that makes that patience worth maintaining. What is good, everybody? Welcome back to TJ Crypto World, the channel that gives you the honest picture on early-stage crypto projects, including the parts that require you to think clearly rather than emotionally. I'm TJ. And today we are covering a Sidra chain situation that requires both a scam warning and a serious examination of the project's long-term vision, because those two things are directly connected right now in a way that every miner needs to understand. The Sidra Bank News Community account on X posted a direct message to holders this week, urging them to stop selling Sidra coin through unofficial channels at low prices. The framing was clear. You have gems in your hands, do not sell cheap. But that message alone is not enough for a community that has been waiting for years and watching the frustration build. So today we are giving that message the full analytical context it needs to actually land. Let's go. Before we get into the unofficial selling scam mechanics, the token claim issues, and what Sidra Chain's vision for global Islamic finance actually means for the long-term value of SDA, let me give you the statement that I think is the most practically useful thing said about the situation all week. Ex-user, ARM, the Delta Global, posting under the name The Delta Global, made an observation that's honestly so logical, it should probably be pinned at the top of every Sidra community forum. He wrote that if a coin isn't officially listed, then, well, there's no such thing as real buyers on Telegram, X, or private DMs. Anyone who's actually serious about buying tradable tokens uses official exchanges, period. Random offers outside official channels, yeah, those are almost always scams, so protect your assets, wait for official announcements, and seriously, do not send coins to strangers. That's not a prediction, that's not a price target, that is just basic market logic applied to an unlisted asset, and, understanding why it's correct, at a structural level, not just as a warning, is really the difference between a miner who protects their position and one who loses everything to a stranger they trusted with a convincing message. We're building that understanding right now. Let me explain the mechanics of why unofficial SDA sales are, by design, set up to fail the seller, because once you actually get the mechanism, the scam becomes impossible to fall for. Sidra Chain hasn't completed an official exchange listing as of this script. That means SDA doesn't have a public order book, a verifiable market price, or a settlement mechanism that any third party can independently confirm. In that environment, a buyer offering to purchase SDA through Telegram, private DMs, or X messages is making a transaction that has, honestly, zero external accountability. Here is what that means in practice. When you sell SDA on an official exchange, the exchange acts as escrow. Your tokens leave your wallet only when the payment is confirmed. The transaction is recorded on the exchange's ledger and on the blockchain. If something goes wrong, there is a dispute mechanism. But, when you send SDA to a stranger based on a private message agreement, none of those protections exist. You send first, they pay after. Except, in the overwhelming majority of documented cases, the majority do not pay after. They simply disappear with your tokens, and there is no recourse available to you because the transaction was entirely off-platform. The Sidra Bank News account's framing of unofficial selling as illegal in their ecosystem context is worth noting, but the more precise concern is not legality, it's the near-certain financial loss. As the Delta Global correctly identified, the absence of official listing infrastructure means the absence of any mechanism for a legitimate transaction. The miner always loses. For the community members considering selling because of frustration, Ex-user Scave Williams, posting under the name Scave, captured that sentiment honestly when he wrote that people are selling out of frustration caused by the delay in launching the project. He acknowledged that miners invested time, money, and energy, and he asked directly for a listing date. That frustration is legitimate, and it deserves an honest response rather than just a hold your gems message. Before we get to the long-term vision, let me address the token claim technical issue that ex-user Arshad Sultani reported this week because it is affecting miners right now, and the fix is specific enough to be immediately useful. Arshad reported that his Sidra tokens were not claiming properly. He had cleared cache, cleared history, uninstalled and reinstalled the app, cleared storage, the full troubleshooting sequence, and the claim function still was not working. The official Sidra Bank News response was direct and specific. There is no face recognition required to claim ST for now. Use the browser version instead of the app. The Sidra app may work for some users, but the browser is the recommended path for the claim process in the current system state. This is actionable information. If you are experiencing claim failures in the Sidra app right now, do not continue uninstalling and reinstalling. Switch to the browser version of the platform and attempt the claim from there. That is the officially recommended workaround until the app claim function is fully stabilized. My original take on this, a project that requires its users to switch from the native app to a browser for core token functionality, is experiencing technical debt that needs to be prioritized in the development queue. Claim functionality is not a peripheral feature. It is the primary interaction that miners are performing. App-level claim reliability should be treated as critical infrastructure, not a known workaround situation. Now let me address the question that is underneath every frustrated seller's decision. Is Sidra actually worth waiting for? I am going to give you the honest answer, not the maximally optimistic. Demo listings and testing environments within the Sidra ecosystem have shown price indications around $25 per SDA. Community analysis and ecosystem projections have discussed launch price windows of $5 to $10, with mid-2026 scenarios ranging from $50 to $500 depending on adoption velocity. These are not guaranteed outcomes, they are scenario projections built on ecosystem expectations. What is verifiable is the structural case for why Sidra Chain's vision, if executed, creates genuine demand for SDA. According to the official Sidra Bank News Vision post, Sidra Chain is built to serve a specific and enormous market gap, the 1.8 billion Muslims globally who need Sharia-compliant financial infrastructure that does not exist in the current DeFi ecosystem. This is not a niche. It is the world's second-largest religious population, a significant portion of whom are currently excluded from both conventional banking and the speculative crypto space, because neither meets their ethical financial requirements. Sidra Chain is positioning itself as the first major blockchain built to be fully Sharia compliant, designed to power payments, savings, and financial tools, not just speculation. The fiat-to-digital asset bridge the ecosystem is building would, if functional, serve remittance corridors, savings products, and payment infrastructure across Muslim-majority markets in Nigeria, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Malaysia, and beyond. Ex-user LongAntony75150, posting under the name Zero Signal, made a pointed observation about what he is watching for next, specifically how Sidra structures validator incentives in the next phase. That is the kind of signal an analytically serious observer watches for, because validator incentive architecture directly determines network security, VTHO equivalent generation, and staking yield dynamics. If Sidra's next announcement addresses validator economics with specificity, it tells you the infrastructure layer is maturing in a way that supports the ecosystem's commercial ambition. Here is the framework I want every frustrated Sidra miner to hold on to because, honestly, it's more useful than simply being told to wait. Patience in crypto is only a strategy when three conditions are true. First, the project is still actively developing, with verifiable technical progress, rather than just social media announcements. Second, the community has sufficient scale to create genuine ecosystem demand when the listing infrastructure activates. And third, the unofficial alternatives are demonstrably worse than waiting, which in Sidra's case they really are, for the reasons we covered. All three conditions apply to Sidra Chain right now. The KYC system upgrade is in progress, the swap infrastructure is being improved, the official account is communicating, imperfectly, but actively, and the more than 3 million user base represents a demand base that once liquidity infrastructure arrives, creates real buying pressure from users who want to use SDA for Sharia-compliant transactions, rather than just trade it. The listing date that Scave Williams asked for, and entrin the Skenber Dustramorion, Quandi bar and on its Stember, Doi spends, and that every miner deserves a clear answer on, remains the outstanding accountability question. Sidra Bank's leadership owes the community a specific dated, publicly committed milestone for exchange listing. Not a coming soon. Not a, the best is yet to come. A date. With consequences for missing it that are acknowledged up front. Until that date exists, the rational position for any miner who believes in the project's mission is to hold, to protect against scam interactions, and to use the browser workaround for any claim issues they encounter. Selling at 5 cents to an anonymous Telegram contact does not resolve the frustration. It just makes it permanent. Right here. If this breakdown gave you the clarity and the framework you needed to make a rational decision about your Sidra position rather than an emotional one, hit that like button right now. And if TJ Crypto World is not yet in your subscription list, fix that immediately. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join a community that helps you think clearly when the crypto space is making you feel anxious. We are back. Let's close it out. Before I close, nothing in this video is financial advice. I am TJ, a crypto analyst and content creator, not a licensed financial advisor. Sidra Coin has no official exchange listing as of this video. All price projections are speculative scenarios, not guaranteed outcomes. Never send tokens to unverified buyers through Telegram or private messages. Do your own research. Your assets, your responsibility. Always. Alright, Sidra family and TJ Crypto World community, that is the complete picture. The unofficial selling trap is real, documented, and almost always ends with the seller losing their tokens and receiving nothing. The token claim issue has a specific browser-based fix you should implement today. The project's vision for Sharia-compliant global finance serves a 1.8 billion person market that no other blockchain is currently addressing at scale. And the patience being asked of the community is only worth maintaining if Sidra Bank converts it into a publicly committed listing date. You have held this far. Hold it correctly, which means protecting your position from scams, using official channels only, and demanding the specific accountability the community has earned through years of participation. Drop a comment below. Are you still holding SDA? Have you been approached by unofficial buyers? And do you feel the project is communicating clearly enough right now? I want every perspective from this community. Like the video if it helped you think more clearly. Subscribe if you are not already locked in. And the video on your screen connects directly to what we covered today. Go watch that next. Stay sharp, stay patient. TJ Crypto World out.